Without a doubt, you've watched the most famous Blue Dogs show at least once. But have you ever noticed how Bluey is packed with nods to iconic movies and series? For instance, did you know there's a clear homage to Stranger Things in one of the episodes? Or that the episode Movies from Season 2 includes a detail that will make Mario Bros fans go wild? Today, we'll explore these and many more hidden references throughout the episodes of this series we all love. So get ready, because there's a lot of exciting stuff coming your way. Let's dive into this amazing journey through the world of Bluey. Anyone who grew up in the 80s or 90s surely remembers the iconic scene of Indiana Jones escaping from a giant boulder in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Well, many might have missed it, but Bluey also pays homage to this classic adventure film. In the episode Yoga Ball, Bandit and the girls are playing, and at one point he rolls the yoga ball for them to escape, just like the famous archaeologist in the movie. Interestingly enough, Bandit and Indiana Jones share the same profession. How cool is that? Back to the reference, it's a scene that even the most observant fans might overlook. But if you compare the two side by side, the resemblance is undeniable. Check it out. The difference? Instead of a daring archaeologist in danger, we have two adorable pups and a yoga ball. As a fan of both Bluey and Indiana Jones, I loved this scene. This one's for fans of magical animations. In the episode Quiet Game, we see Bandit and his daughters in a toy store, shopping for a gift for their cousin Muffin's birthday. The healers are browsing when something interesting appears. Shelves filled with boxes containing colorful little unicorns. It's impossible not to connect this to the famous My Little Pony series, which has enchanted generations with its charming characters. Bluey and Bingo, like any kids, clearly love unicorns and are probably fans of this franchise too. Who wouldn't be? And it looks like Muffin is an even bigger fan than her two cousins. Good thing Bandit picked the right model for his niece. Now, for fans of Hawkins and the Upside Down, here's a reference so subtle you might miss it. In the episode Seesaw, during a conversation between Chili and Pom Pom's mom, they mention a character everyone thought was dead, but turns up in Russia in the new season. Sound familiar? Of course! They're talking about Hopper from Stranger Things. Who would have guessed that even Chili is a fan of one of Netflix's biggest hits?
Hope they bring him back for season 4. Yeah, they do. Haven't you seen the trailer?
Speaking of video games, there's a delightful reference to the famous RPG Undertale. For fans of the game, this is one of those nods that jumps right out at you. In the game, one of the most iconic characters, if not the most well-known, is Sans, an NPC who can become the final boss in the game's most challenging route. He's famous for his unique appearance and sarcastic lines. In the episode where Muffin stays overnight at the healer's house, she's completely out of sorts because she skipped her nap. During a pretend dinner with the girls, guess who shows up? That's right, a plush toy that's unmistakably similar to Sans. You can spot it in the left corner of the scene. If you're an Undertale fan, you probably caught this similarity right away. It's definitely no coincidence. And if you, like us, love spotting hidden references and Easter eggs, leave a comment below with Sans so we know you're here. Let's face it, everyone loves epic references, right? And what could be better than a nod to one of the most legendary movies of all time? In the episode where Bluey and Bingo accompany their mom on a visit to Grandpa Mario, there's a moment that's a direct homage to The Lord of the Rings. During their adventure, we see the trio, Grandpa Mario, Bluey, and Bingo, hiding under the roots of a large tree as they try to evade Chili, who's looking for them. At one point, Bluey cleverly uses a rock to throw her mom off their trail, tossing it far away so Chili thinks they're somewhere else. This sequence is almost identical to one of the most intense scenes from the first The Lord of the Rings movie, where the hobbits are escaping the Nazgul. The resemblance is striking. It's impossible not to recognize this reference. As a fan of the trilogy, I found it brilliant how Bluey managed to turn such a dark moment into something lighthearted and adorable. Way to go, Bluey! Moving on to the episode movies, we find another nod to a classic 2000s animated film. This time, it's the hilarious and unforgettable Bee Movie. Right after the scene featuring a poster referencing Princess Peach and the Super Mario Bros. Universe, we see another poster, this one for a movie starring a bee. The poster even has the English word bee on it, making the inspiration obvious. Released in 2007, Bee Movie tells the hilarious story of Barry, a bee who decides to fight for honey rights in human society. The similarity between the poster in Bluey and the movie is undeniable, and it's a fantastic tribute. What's even more fascinating is that Bee Movie was produced by DreamWorks, a major competitor of Disney, which distributes Bluey worldwide. Who would have thought? When it comes to classic movies and Australian culture, you can't forget Crocodile Dundee. This iconic 1986 film follows the adventures of an Australian crocodile hunter as he navigates life in New York, facing hilarious and dangerous situations. One of the character's trademarks is his iconic hat, decorated with crocodile teeth. Now, in the episode Fruit Bat from Season 1, right at the beginning, we see the healers playing a video game. The character in the game wears a hat identical to Crocodile Dundee. Plus, small crocodiles are scattered throughout the game, reinforcing the homage. Later in Bluey's dream, a giant version of the same game appears, solidifying this fun and creative nod. It's a heartfelt tribute to Australian cinema. One thing Bluey does exceptionally well is weaving epic and funny references to famous movies into its episodes. And of course, Bandit is often at the center of these moments. In the episode Fairy, he's given an unexpected mission to dance for the fairies as a final test to rescue Bingo. Though he's clearly reluctant, he gives it his all for his youngest daughter. The best part? While dancing, Bandit delivers an iconic line. "Is this what you want? Are you satisfied?" This is a direct callback to Gladiator, where Russell Crowe's character, Maximus, asks the audience in the Colosseum a very similar question. Are you not entertained? This is one of the most perfectly executed references in Bluey. In that moment, Bandit becomes the ultimate fairy gladiator, eliciting laughs from both kids and parents alike. Honestly, spotting these little details in Bluey is so much fun. If you want to dive deeper into the amazing world of this blue pup, click the subscribe button right now. Now let's talk about one of the funniest references in Bluey. It takes place in an episode where we see Bandit and Pat, Lucky's dad, recreating an iconic movie scene. You might not have watched it, but you've probably heard of Dirty Dancing. It's a smash hit movie where the protagonist lifts his dance partner high into the air in a legendary moment. This scene became so famous that it's been recreated countless times in other movies and even parodies. For instance, Ken from Barbie has his own hilarious take on it. But the most surprising thing in Bluey is seeing Pat effortlessly lifting Bandit into the air, recreating the iconic dance scene. Not only is this a super fun tribute, but it also proves that Pat is way stronger than he looks. This reference is impossible to forget, isn't it? If one The Lord of the Rings reference is cool, how about two? This particular nod is one of the most amazing in the series, showing how much the creators love epic adventure stories. In the episode Magic Feather, Bingo becomes obsessed with the power of a feather, which somehow makes everything heavy to the touch. In the midst of it all, Bandit steps in to help Bluey and Chili escape. He positions himself in front of the door and delivers the epic line, "You shall not pass." If you've watched The Lord of the Rings, you'll instantly recognize this phrase. It's the exact same one Gandalf says during the legendary battle against the Balrog, where he blocks the creature's path in the mines of Moria to save the Fellowship of the Ring. This reference is so unmistakable that you can't miss it. It's an incredible nod to one of cinema's greatest masterpieces. I absolutely loved it. Another nod that shows the creator's love for cinema is the reference to Gallipoli, a classic Australian film released in 1981. The homage happens in an episode where Chili trains Bluey. When questioned by her coach and mom, Bluey comments that she feels like a greyhound, a dog breed known for its incredible speed. This line is almost identical to a scene in Gallipoli, where the film's runner tells his trainer he's going to run as fast as a leopard. The creators of Bluey adapted the dialogue by swapping leopard for greyhound, but the essence of the original scene remains intact. This is a reference that Australians probably recognized immediately, but now you're in the know too. These were some of Bluey's amazing references to iconic movies, other cartoons, and even series like Stranger Things. With so many carefully crafted details meant to entertain both kids and adults, it's impossible not to love this show. And for those of you who stayed until the end, we've got even more incredible videos waiting. Pick one and keep enjoying our content. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.